For this poor wildebeest, a bath is a death sentence. It evaded the crocodiles, but its luck soon ran out. A male lion clamped his huge jaws down on the wildebeest's nose. The fight was fierce, but the outcome was unpredictable. The lion's bite was relentless, and the wildebeest had no chance of fighting back. However, the lion faced a problem. This was crocodile territory. If the crocodiles, or worse, a pack of hyenas came charging, the lion could lose everything. It had to act fast. With a strong bite, it began to drag the wildebeest toward shore. But the beast weighed more than 400 pounds. Pulling it out of the water was a difficult task even for the lion. It tried once, but it was unsuccessful. Then, with the last bit of strength it had, the lion sunk its teeth deep into the wildebeest's skull and pulled with all its might. The lion pinned the huge prey to the ground. Oh my God, this mountain lion suddenly went berserk. It nearly killed a villager right there and then. But what the mountain lion didn't expect was how fast humans would strike back. A few hours later, the villagers called in a professional hunter. He wasn't alone. A truckload of hounds rolled up, ready to go. At the hunter's command, the hounds charged into the forest, sniffing for predators. It wasn't long. These hounds had hunted bigger beasts before, and now they smelled a mountain lion. It had never expected it. 1 second, it was a predator. The next, it was killed with brutal efficiency. Sensing danger, the mountain lion took off darting through the trees and up high branches, eluding the packs of hounds. Below, the hounds barked but couldn't reach it. That's when the hunter stepped up. Without hesitation, he raised his gun. He aimed at the mountain lion in the treetops and pulled the trigger. Justice was served. How terrifying are hippo explosions? Just ask the hyenas that were blown up. Some were killed instantly. Others, left to crawl on their own 2 legs, disabled for life. It all started when a male lion spotted a missing hippo calf. He pounced and killed it with 1 blow. The lion ate it. But the mother hippo? She followed. Realizing her cub was missing, she pounced on a nearby pride of lions. The lions were caught off guard and forced to defend their territory. But even the huge, furious mother hippo was no match for the pride. Injured and bleeding, the mother was chased away by the lions. On her way back, she encountered 2 hungry hyenas. They pounced, biting through her thick skin. Eventually, she collapsed and died from her injuries. The hyenas cheered. One immediately began to eat. But the thick hide of the hippo was still hard to tear open, so the hyenas had to eat through small wounds. How could they not know? The African heat turned the rotting carcass into a gas-filled time bomb. The hyenas blocked the hole, and the pressure built up. When the sun reached its highest point BAM, the hippo exploded. The nearest hyena was torn to pieces on the spot. The rest of the hyenas stumbled away, with torn legs and feet, dizzy, and broken bones. My goodness, this hawk's menu is brutal. No mercy, no rules, just killing. Snakes? Take it down. That cobra tries to fight back, lose. The hawk takes it out with 1 strike. Fish? Rabbit? Fox? Whether it swims, slithers, or runs, if it moves, it dies. Even big guys like wild boars or goats, they're still just snacks to this aerial assassin. And look at this, a daring little fox thinks it can sneak a bite of the hawk's prey. It barely flies 10 feet before the hawk flies back and destroys it. When the prey is too big to carry, that's when the hawk shows its true power. Look at this poor goat. 1 second it's grazing, the next, those claws are like knives coming out of the sky. No escape, and get this, there are reports of hawks snatching small children. Let it sink in. This is not just a bird. It's a cold-blooded apex predator of the air. It was incredible. This bulging hound was about to give birth. But instead of staying in the shelter, she was scurrying around, fast and nervous. That's not a good thing when you're about to give birth. One mistake at this stage, what if she ran into a lion? If the lion spotted her, it would be all over. One bite to the throat, and her story would be over in seconds. But the hyena knew where she was going. She was very close. She stood in a shallow puddle, panting and pacing. Then she started acting strange. Wait, was she really giving birth in the water? What happened next will surprise you. The hyena gave birth to a bunch of puppies in the den, and then the hyena carried the puppies in her mouth, but she ran into a lion that was patrolling. The lion spotted her and immediately rushed over and bit the puppies' necks. The rest of the hounds fled in panic, and the lion caught up and kept killing them brutally, one by one. The Lion King was napping peacefully until a snap. A lion cub pounced on his tail, startling him awake. He blinked and moaned, "What a courageous kid." Then he yawned and fell asleep again. The lion cub mischievously ran to his mother for a drink of water. His mother disagreed. "Go bother your father," she snapped. So the Lion King did. The Lion King's tail wagged again, irresistible. The lion cub pounced again. Now fully awake and not at all happy, the Lion King roared. "You won't give up, will you? Your father needs a break. Go play somewhere else." But the lion cub stuck to him like glue. The king's patience was running out, teeth bared. Eyes narrowed one more swipe, and he might actually bite. But the result? He sighed, gave up, and climbed a nearby tree to take a nap. Watching from a distance, an elephant smirked, waiting for gravity to take effect. A lion stumbles upon a lone honey badger baby. It has lost its parents. Without hesitation, it picks up the cub and disappears into the bush. But the parents are already on its tail. They follow the baby's scent to the lions and come in a rage. They roar and demand the baby's return. Then bang, the Lion King steps out. The badgers freeze. Even the bravest animals hesitate before a king, but the father honey badger doesn't flinch. He rages, hisses like a demon, and charges at a lion cub. But the lion lunges back, teeth bared. The badger is forced to retreat temporarily. They fight back and forth. It's a ruthless contest of speed, fury, and survival. Claws tear, jaws snap, dust flies. Neither side is willing to give up. As night falls, the lion finally catches the honey badger. It bit again and again, but the creature did not give in easily. Even with blood dripping, the honey badger refused to die. Now, the only question was, can this indestructible warrior hold out until dawn? Close up, a group of people surround a tightly curled up pangolin, trying to grab it. Clearly, something is wrong. They are rushing to rescue it. As the camera zooms in, the horror is clear. The pangolin is trapped in a poacher's trap. A steel wire is wrapped deep into its body. Its scales are torn, and the infected areas are starting to turn black. Time is running out. The people work together to try to gently pry open the pangolin's armor. But the poor animal is terrified, curling up tightly, not letting them in. They change tactics. They carefully insert pliers between the scales, cut the wire bit by bit, and then slowly pull it out. Minutes feel like hours, but eventually they succeed. The pangolin is safe. Rescuers are taking it to a wildlife center for medical treatment and rehabilitation. With any luck, it will one day return to nature where it truly belongs. This elephant was walking on the grassland. Unexpectedly, a huge tree blocked its path. This made the elephant furious, and he immediately roared at the tree and banged his head against the trunk. The elephant lost his cool. "You better get going. This is incredible." The elephant was furious, straightened his back, and rushed at the tree with all his strength. He banged his head against the trunk again and again, beginning a one-on-one fight between the beast and the bark. With each impact, the tree shook and the roots were crushed. Then, suddenly, the elephant stopped. Did it give up? No, it was just catching its breath. A few seconds later, it hit again and broke its bones. Boom! The 30-foot-tall tree came crashing down, and it was knocked down by a raw force that it had never seen in real life. It fell heavily to the ground. The elephant was satisfied with this destruction. The elephant just walked away as if nothing had happened. A lioness was returning to her pride with her cubs, unaware that a hungry leopard was climbing a tree and eyeing the cubs. The cubs' tender flesh was too tempting to resist. As the lioness continued to walk, the leopard climbed down from the branch and began to follow them, quiet, focused, and ready to attack at any time. The lioness walked into a shallow river with the cubs in her mouth. Without hesitation, the leopard jumped in and chased the lioness. The splash of water caught the attention of a male lion in the nearby jungle. His ears perked up. Something was wrong. He looked in the direction of the sound and saw the leopard approaching quietly, heading straight for the lioness and cubs. He immediately realized what was about to happen and took action. Just as the leopard was about to pounce, the male lion rushed over with a roar and knocked the leopard to the ground, completely stopping the leopard's ambush. With the male lion's protection, the lioness and cubs were able to escape safely. Wolves have long been a nightmare for shepherds, sneaking into their flocks under cover of night and snatching their sheep. To protect their flocks, local herders keep more than 30 strong Kangal dogs, each wearing a spiked gate collar that is a deadly blow to any wolf that approaches. The national dog of Turkey, the Kangal is more than just a muscle-bound beast. This large dog is known as a folk hero and was once a member of the Turkish army. On the open pastures, these dogs take their job seriously. They patrol around the flocks, always on the alert. The Kangal's barking echoes through the mountains, and most wolves flee at the sound of the barking. The Kangal strikes quickly and fiercely, capable of striking its prey in the neck. Its large size and powerful strength make it a nightmare for any predator. Time and again, these dogs have proven that they are not only guardians, but also wolf butchers. In this battle of predator and guardian, this morning, a hungry lion suddenly found a group of buffaloes hiding in the water to bathe. It stared at the buffaloes with salivating eyes. The lion hid in the grass. The buffaloes had no idea that death was coming until their leader noticed something. The lion realized that he had been discovered and launched a fierce attack. The scene was in chaos. The buffaloes fled in panic, knocking their hooves on the ground. The lion chased them, staring at his prey. The herd suddenly stopped and turned to pounce on the lion. The lion was so scared that he clung to a dead tree, but found himself surrounded. Dozens of buffaloes surrounded him, and the buffalo leader attacked and knocked the lion to the ground with his horns. The lion was outnumbered and fled between the buffalo's horns and hooves. He climbed up the embankment, but saw the buffalo leader rushing towards him again. The lion jumped into the river in despair. He was defeated, and as long as the herd held its ground, even the lion would have fled. A lone lion was taking a stroll when he suddenly grabbed a wild dog cub and dragged it into the grass. In a matter of seconds, it was all over. But the wild dog mother witnessed it all, and she was furious. The next day, she returned with the entire pack of wolves, young, angry, and bent on revenge. The lion stood his ground, but the numbers soon overwhelmed him. He could barely protect his tail from being torn to pieces. Nearby, a lioness desperately defended her cub, but in the chaos, the wolves grabbed her and tore her apart. This was the straw that broke the camel's back. The enraged male lion rushed into the wild dog's den alone, roaring for revenge. The once proud and arrogant wild dogs fled in panic, no match for his fierceness. Big and small, they were torn to pieces by claws and fangs. Even the wolf leader was ultimately powerless, hanging in the lion's mouth. This was not a fight. This was a slaughter. This lioness isn't just fierce, she's a beast. With one leap, she tackles a full-grown male lion to the ground. The craziest part? She doesn't even fight back. It all started when 3 lionesses surrounded a paralyzed leopard. But instead of attacking, they stared at a nearby male lion, the same one who broke the leopard's spine. Were they protecting him? The male lion backed off, but another male rushed in, tearing at the leopard. The lionesses fought back, and a second male joined in to distract them. As they chased the male away, the leopard was attacked again. When the lead lioness returned, she did something unexpected. She attacked her sister. not out of anger, but as a reminder, we stick together or we lose. The male lion thought she had given up, so he tried a sneak attack. Wrong. The three lionesses pounced and knocked him to the ground. The other male just watched and got it now. This lioness is more than just strong. She is a force of nature. Even in death, hippos are deadly. A hippopotamus calf got lost and was mauled to death by a male lion. But when the lioness returned and found the calf missing, she rushed to a nearby pride and immediately suspected them. Only the lioness was there. They had no idea what was happening, but were forced to fight the angry, saddened lioness. Outnumbered and wounded, the hippo retreated. On her way back, she encountered two hyenas. They smelled blood and attacked, but her thick hide was too tough. However, the damage was done. The hippo fell to the ground dead. The hyenas called in the entire pack. Soon, dozens of hyenas swarmed over her body, tearing at her flesh, and vultures joined in. But the sun was hot. Gases built up in her rotting body. The hyenas blocked their escape routes, not noticing the danger. And then bang. The hippopotamus exploded. The hyenas closest to the blast were killed. The other hyenas stumbled away, badly wounded. A mess. Shocked, a lioness eats her own king. This old lion has a tragic fate. He was brutally killed and eaten by a lioness, not because he lost a fight, but simply because he was old. He was once the king of the pride, but now he is surrounded by a group of lionesses. Not love, but anger. One lioness pins him down, another scratches his mane, and neither of them backs down. Their goal? To destroy him completely. His teeth are worn down, his strength is waning. Overwhelmed and helpless, he can only roar weakly and painfully. Why did his pride attack him? Because in the lion's world, only the strongest survive. And what about the lionesses? They want the best genes for their future cubs. The life of a male lion is cruel, kicked out of the house by his father at a young age and forced to fight opponents constantly. Even when they become kings, they are hunted by young challengers. And when age finally gets the better of the lions, the pride they have protected for so many years now turns against them. The lion's greatest enemy is not other beasts, it's time. A leopard took one bite and it was all over. It had just found a zebra carcass in the wild. It looked fresh and safe, but as soon as it tasted it, it began to vomit violently. The truth of the matter was, a few days earlier, a lion had ambushed this zebra and went for its throat. But this zebra was no pushover. It kicked, dodged, twisted, managed to escape and return to its herd. A few moments later, it collapsed, legs twitching, gasping for air. It turned out that the lion that bit it had been bitten by a black mamba, one of the deadliest snakes on earth. The lion's bite was venomous, and the venom went straight into the zebra's body. The zebra didn't stand a chance. Its cub pushed gently and cried, but the carcass didn't move. A few days later, a hungry leopard stumbled upon the carcass. In desperation, he took a bite. Wrong move. The venom was still active. Within minutes, the leopard began to convulse. And then, silence. But the tragedy didn't end there. After he died, other leopards discovered the body and began to eat it themselves. Buffalo are so savage. A pride of lions had just learned the hard way, never mess with an African buffalo. At first, everything was peaceful. The lions lay in the sun, carefree. Then a lone buffalo wandered into the kill. In a split second, the lions went into killing mode. But this was no ordinary buffalo. It was young, strong, and ready to pounce. Instead of running away, it fought back. One lion got too close bang. A horn tore right through its back. Just like that, the predator became the prey. Later, another lioness managed to take down a buffalo, locking her jaws around its throat. Everything looked like a done deal, until backup arrived. A herd of buffalo swarmed over, but surprisingly, they didn't hit the lions. They ran it into their trapped friends. Rescue failed? Savage buffalo raging? It's hard to say, but one thing is clear. This isn't just the cycle of life, it's a battlefield. A lion The king of the grasslands is being attacked by his own lionesses. What's got these lionesses so angry? It turns out that their so-called king is nothing more than a lazy parasite. He hasn't had a cub in over a year,